Well, Jai Hind students. The name of the subject is software engineering and its paper code is KCS 601. Today we'll be discussing some of the topics from unit 5 and the name of this unit is software maintenance and software project management. So the topic on which we'll be discussing today is case tools. What are case tools? CASE stands for Computer Aided Software Engineering Tools. So this is a full form of CASE, Computer Aided Software Engineering Tools. What do we mean by case tools? It simply means the development and the maintenance of the software project with the help of various automated software tools. That means if we want to develop a particular software or if we want to maintain a particular type of software project, with the help of this particular tools, it is going to provide a type of automated environment. So this is done with the help of various automated software tools. Now, computer aided software tool assists software engineering managers and practitioners in every activity which is basically associated with the process of the development of the software. So that means we have the case tools which is related with all the different activities that we generally need for the process of the software development. We are having the case tools available for that. Thus, we can say that it means any tools which is used to automate. That means any type of tools with the help of which we will be able to automate some activities which is associated with the development of the particular type of software. So this is a type of tool with the help of which we can very easily automate the different activities which are involved in the development of the particular software. Now, many case tools are available. Some of the case tools assist in phase related, such as the specification, structure analysis, design, coding. So as you can see, these are basically the different phases of your SDLC. So that means we have the case tools which will assist you in the different phase related type of activities, like the specifications, the designing, the coding, maintenance and so on. Another important thing that it is also going to assist you in the non-phase related activities such as the management of the project and different configuration activities of the management. So it is going to assist you in phase related as well as non-phase related activities in the development of the particular software. Now, what actually are they? They are software programs which are designed to assist human programmers with the complexity of the process and the artifacts of the software engineering. So that means they are going to automate the different activities which are basically used in the development of the software. Now, as we know, software engineering is a systematic approach to develop operation, maintenance and retirement of a particular software. That means throughout this development process, we may be requiring different tools which can definitely assist our job and makes the things very, very easy. Now, software engineering mainly includes the following process which can aided by the case. What are those different activities? First is the translation of user needs into software requirements that can very easily be done with the help of the case tools. Again, transformation of software requirements into the design specifications that can be done. Implementation, see these are the different phases actually, and based on the working we are going to convert from one, or we can actually move on from one particular phase to the another phase. Third is, as you can see, it is basically conversion or implementation of design into the code, then testing of the code for the operational use, and of course the documentation, which is one of the most important phase in the software. Now, what is basically the reason for using these case tools? Why we are using these case tools? The main or the primary reason for using the case tool is to increase the productivity. That means if we are going to use the case tools, of course, we will be very easily able to increase the productivity of the software that we are going to deal with. Automation of various activities of system development and management process increases productivity of the development team. So that means with the help of this automated tools, of course, the productivity of the software can be increased. Second is to help produce better quality software at low maintenance cost, right? This is the most important thing that we don't want to compromise in the field of software engineering is the quality of the software. We are quite interested in developing the software which is a qualitative software, and if you are using the case tools, definitely we can produce a good quality software and of course at a very, very low maintenance cost. Now, use of case tools makes the software easy to maintain and hence of course it is going to reduce the maintenance cost. Right, maintenance is one of the last phase of software development life cycle, and of course we want the cost of the maintenance to be quite low. So of course if you are going to use this case tools, they are going to make the software easy and maintenance, and hence we can easily say that the cost of the maintenance will be less. Now, there are other benefits which are included. First is it is going to improve the productivity, which I already discussed. Better documentation again is possible with the help of these very case tools. Of course, it is going to reduce the lifetime maintenance of a particular software. It is going to improve the accuracy of the particular software if we are going to use it in the proper way. Opportunity for the non-programmers also. That means it is not very mandatory that you need to be a very good programmer type of case tools. Now, this is what is written or explained here. As I told you, it is going to improve the productivity, better documentation. By using the case tools, vast amount of documentation are produced along with the way. That means it is something which is going to make this documentation very easy. Third is, as I told you, reduced lifetime maintenance. How we can say so? As a result of better design, better analysis and automation code, automation testing and debugging, overall system quality is going to improve. There is better documentation also, thus the net effort and cost which is involved with the maintenance is of course going to reduce it with the help of this case tool. Now, of course, the accuracy can be improved, and as I told you, it is a good opportunity for the non-programmers. With the increased movement towards object-oriented technology and client-server base, programming can also be done by the people who don't have the complete programming background. So, it's not necessary that we can do the programming if and only if we are actually a very good programmer. Even if we are not a very good programmer, this is a very good tool that can be used. Now, these are the different characteristics of the case tool. First is standard methodology, then comes is the flexibility, strong integration with the testing effort, support for the reverse engineering, and of course online help. Now, let's discuss them one by one. A standard methodology. A case tool must support standard software development methodology and standard modeling technique. In the present scenario, most of the case tools are moving towards the UML. That means there is a standard methodologies that need to be properly incorporated. Now, as far as the flexibility is concerned, it is flexibility basically in use of the editors and the other tools. The case tool must offer flexibility and the choice for the user of editors in the development. That means there is a possibility in the in terms of the flexibility of a particular software. It can be changeable. Like strong integration, the case tool supports to be integrated to support all the stages. Like if we are talking about a particular case tools, no doubt it can work properly, but to make a particular scenario worthwhile, it will be quite suggested that there should be a proper type of integration between the different case tools that we are going to use. And again, those different case tools can be directly linked with the central repository of the system. Integration again with the testing software that can be done. Support for re-engineering. A case tool must be able to generate complex models for already generated tool or the code. Online help, the case tool provides an online tutorial also. That means if you are actually not able how we can use this tool, we can go for the online type of help which is provided by these case tools. Now, these are the different categories of case tools. First is the upper case tools, lower case tools and the integrated tool. Now, what are they? What are upper case tools? They are the tools that basically support the analysis and the design phase, right? So, those tools which basically supports the analysis and the design phase are called as upper case tools. They basically include the tools for analyzing, modeling, report and the generation of the forms. What are lower case tools? They support coding phase, configuration and management, etc. Integrated tools, it is again known as iCase tools, and also support analysis design, and that means basically the integration of the upper as well as the lower one. They basically includes the support analysis for the particular set of generation of reports as well as the coding part too. Now, as far as the limitation of these case tools are concerned, these are the major limitation. First is the cost, then is the learning curve, and third is the mix of the tool. Now, what is cost? Using case tools is very costly affair, right? In fact, most firms engaged in software development of the small scale do not invest in case tools because they think that benefits of case are justifiable only in the development of the large tool. So, that means as far as the cost is concerned, it is quite high. So, that can be one of the limitations of the case tools. Second is the learning curve. In most cases, programmers' productivity may fall in initial phase of implementation because users need time to learn a new type of technology. In fact, case consisting industry has evolved to support use of this. That means there is a type of learning curve. The consultants offer train on-site services that can be crucial to accelerate the learning curve and to the development of this particular type of tools. And again, as I told you, there is a mix of tools. That means different type of tools need to be properly integrated to make the complete scenario worthwhile. It is important to make an appropriate selection of the tool mix to get cost advantage, case integration, and the data integration across the platform is very, very important. So these are the few limitations of the case tools. Now, what is the case support and software life cycle? There are various type of support that case provides during the different phase of software development life cycle. The prototyping support, the structured analysis and the design support, the generation of the code, and last is the test case generator. Now, this is basically the complete environment of the case tools. As you can see, there is a central repository, right? An individual type of case tool can work accordingly, but we generally prefer to be a mixture or the integration of different tools in the particular environment. So, we'll be having a central repository with the help of which different type of tools can be connected. Now, although you can see that individual case tools are useful, the true power of tool can be realized only when these set of tools are integrated with the common framework or the environment. So, this is basically a common framework or the complete environment of the case tools. Now, case tools are characterized by the stage of software development life cycle on which they focus. Since different tools cover different stages, they share common information. It is very, very important that they need to integrate through some central repository. So, this is a central repository through which different type of tools are basically integrated, right? Then we can say that this central repository is what? This is a type of data dictionary, right? Which contains the definition of all the composite and the elementary data items. So, though the central repository, all the case tools in the case environment, they share the common information among themselves. So, that means we are having the proper type of environment in which we will be having a different case tools which are going to integrate with the central repository, which is actually a type of data dictionary, right? So, this the case environment facilitates the automation of step-by-step methodologies for the development of the software, which is already described in the figure. Now, these are the different benefits. Again, as I told you, cost saving through all the development phase. This is one of the most important benefits of using the case tools. Second is the use of case tools lead to considerable improvement and quality. We have already discussed this particular point that we always want the particular software to be a software which is a qualitative software. We don't want to compromise with the quality of the software. So, this is mainly due to the facts that one can iterate through the different phases of the development and chances of human errors again are considerably reduced. So, it is something which is going to improve the quality of the software. Case tools help to produce high quality and again the consistent document. We always want the document to be in the proper form. The documentation need to be done, and again it is something with the help of which that can be done in a very easy way. Case tools have led to revolutionary cost saving in the maintenance of the software effort. So, these are different benefits of the case tools. Now, these are some advantages and disadvantages of the case tools. Let's discuss them one by one. If we are talking about the advantages, it produces system with a longer effective operational life. This is one of the most important advantage of the case tools. And if you are talking in terms of the disadvantages, again it is going to produce initial system that is more expensive to build and maintain. That means we have already discussed about the cost, though if we are talking about the initial system, that is again quite expensive and quite difficult to maintain too. If we are talking in terms of advantage, it produces system that is more closely meet to the needs of the users and to the requirements of the users. If you are talking about the disadvantages, it requires more extensive and accurate definition of user needs and the requirements. Proper and the accurate definition of what do we mean by user need, what actually is the need of user, what actually are the requirements of the user, they need to be properly clear. Then again, produces system with excellent documentation, right? If you are going to use this this case tools, it is going to produce the system or the with some excellent type of documentation. Again, it is difficult to customize, right? So, this is the disadvantages. It produces system that needs less system support. Okay, less system support is basically required. So, again, it is one of the most important advantages. In terms of disadvantages, it requires training of the maintenance staff. Sometimes if the staff is not skilled, of course, a type of proper training need to be given to the maintenance staff, and that is mandatory. It produces more flexible system. Flexibility again is one of the most advantages in terms of the case tool. It may be difficult with the existing type of system, the present type of system. So that can be a disadvantages of the system. So these are different advantages and disadvantages of the case tools. Now, a very important topic from Unit 5 is software risk, the management of software risk. Let's discuss it as it is very important topic. Now, we software developers are again very optimistic in nature. We assume generally that everything will go exactly what we have planned. Right? This is basically the scenario, as we are optimists that what we have planned, the things are actually working in that particular mode only. But this is not true. Right? So what is the other view? That it is not possible to predict what is going to happen in future. We cannot actually at this moment predict that what can be the scenario later on. Right? Software, of course, they are very surprising. So software generally surprises, and of course sometimes we don't get a good news. So never will be getting a type of good news. Now what is actually a risk? Well, how can we identify that there is a risk in the software? Tomorrow's problems are today's risk. Right? Tomorrow's problems are today's risk. What is risk? Risk is the problem that may loss or threaten the success of the project, but which has not happened yet. That means something or some sort of issues due to which we can say that it is something which is going to threaten the success of the project, or due to which we can lose something, but that type of scenario has not happened yet, then we can say that this is the risk. So this is basically the problem which can cause or threatens the success of the particular project, but it has not happened yet, is what is termed as the risk. Now there are different type of risks. If we are talking about development process risk, there are development errors during the development. They can be any type of natural disasters can be there. Disgruntled or dissatisfied employee can be a type of risk. Poor management objectives, if there is no proper objective of the management, again it can lead to some type of bad consequences in the system. So that can be a type of risk. Product risk, they basically includes the type of project risk, right? Technical risk, and again the risk which is associated with the business activities. Another general categories of risk can be known risk. Now what are known risks? They are those risks that can be uncovered after careful evaluation of the project plan. That means if we are like a proper project plan has already been developed, then it is quite easy that we can uncover those particular type of risks. The business and the technical environment in which the product is being developed, and again reliable information sources. Predictable risks are basis from past project experience, right? Means we can predict the risk based on the experience from the past. If we have developed or made that particular type of software earlier also, then we can actually predict that we can have this type of risk in the future too. So these are the tests that are the risks that can be find out from our past experience. Unpredictable type of risk can and do occur, but they are extremely difficult to identify in advance. See, it is very much clear from the name itself only, the risks that cannot be predicted, right? That is why we are calling it as unpredicted risk. So that means those type of risks which are actually difficult to identify in advance. Now, risk analysis and management. So that means once we come to know that what actually is the risk, it's important to identify, to analyze it, and how we are going to manage it. Risk management are a series of steps that help software team to understand and manage the uncertainty which can cause or threatens the success of the particular project. Many problems can plague a software project. A risk is the potential problem. It might or might not happen. So it is something that may or may not. It is going to happen, that what all the type of consequences it can have, and how we can actually prepare today itself only from the problems that may arise in future. So the key idea is the management of the risk. So it's not to wait for the risk to materialize and becomes a problem. The objective is basically to manage a risk if it is going to occur, so that we can ensure that for each perceived risk, we know very well that how we can tackle in advance if this is a scenario that is going to happen in future. So according to risk management guru, that is Barry Boehm, he said that risk management focuses the project manager attention on those portions of the project which are most likely to cause any sort of problem or any sort of trouble in the development of the software. Now, there are proactive and reactive type of risk strategies. What is reactive strategy? A reactive strategy monitors the project for likely risk. That means the type of risk which are likely going to occur. Resources are set aside to deal with them. Resources should or they become actual problems. most commonly the software team does nothing about that particular risk until there is something which is going to happen wrong, right? That is why we are calling it as a type of reactive strategy. Then the team flies into action is an attempt to correct the problem rapidly. So this is often called as firefighting mode. So initially nothing has happened, but until and unless something goes wrong, and then only the team comes basically into the action. Now what is proactive strategy? It begins long before technical work is initiated. So before we are going to start with the technical work, so it begins long before that. If you are talking about the potential risks, they are identified, their probability, their impact are basically assessed. So these are the different categories, the reactive and the proactive strategies. Thank you so much, students. We will be discussing more in the next lecture. Thank you so much.